Lesson, The Fisherman and His Wife. Reading of pages 86 till 89. For 2 weeks all went well. Then the fisherman's wife said crossly, "This cottage is too small for us, and the garden isn't big enough. I would like to live in a big stone castle. Go back to the fish and ask it to give us a castle." "Oh, I don't like to do that," replied the fisherman. "This cottage is good enough for us. We can't ask the fish for anything else." "Yes, we can," said the wife. "Go on. Go and ask for a big stone castle." So the fisherman went out, but his heart was heavy. "It isn't right to ask the fish for that," he thought. When he came to the sea, it was no longer green and yellow. It was dark blue and mauve. The fisherman called to the fish, and it came swimming at once to the top of the water. "What do you want?" it asked. "My wife is tired of the cottage," replied the fisherman sadly. "She told me to ask you to give us a big stone castle instead." "Go home," said the fish. "She has it already." For the fisherman went home, and there instead of the cottage, he saw a big stone castle. His wife stood at the door and took him inside. There she said, "Isn't this much better than the little cottage?" The fisherman looked round and could hardly believe his eyes. There was a great hall of marble with lights of crystal hanging from the ceiling. There were many rooms with thick, soft carpets on the floor. There were chairs and tables of gold, and there were servants standing at every door. At the back of the castle was a large courtyard with stables full of horses. There were coaches and coachmen. There was a beautiful garden full of flowers and vegetables and fruit. And there was a great park where deer and goats and sheep and cows fed. "It's all wonderful," said the fisherman. "Now we can live here happily for the rest of our lives." "Well, we shall see," replied his wife. Next morning, when the wife awoke, she looked out of the window and saw all the land in the distance outside the castle walls. She woke the fisherman up and said, "Come and look at all this land." "Yes, it is beautiful," he replied. "I want it all to belong to me," said the wife. "Go to the fish and ask it to make me king of all the land." "King?" cried the fisherman. "How could you be king? Even the fish couldn't make you king." "Yes, it could," went on the wife. Go and ask it. Sadly, the fisherman dressed himself and went out, but his heart was heavy. It isn't right to ask the fish for that, he thought. When he came to the sea,